Miley was good, huh? What was the time of game?
2:38.
Yeah. He walked one guy? I don't think, did they walk anybody? That's probably the least number of walk game we've had this year. Both sides. I don't think they walked anybody. I didn't have it on my card. I might have missed one. Now, Wade, first inning, to get that under the belt, he kind of, I thought the 6th and 7th inning were really big. Kept us, we're trying to stay away from some people tonight, like you always are.
Were you proud of the approach off Eduardo? He'd been so good.
Yeah, I don't know if we caught, this guy's one of the top 10 ERAs in American League, which makes it in baseball for me. So, we saw the thing before the game down the bullpen, so I'm not sure if we caught him at full strength, but he was still pretty, he's still pretty good. And our guys, mistakes he did make, we put a good enough swing on him for him to leave the park.
Last couple of nights with, lots of hitting, is there anything to the theory that maybe weather's better and the ball carries?
The ball was carrying better tonight. I saw it right away. I mean, I thought, thank goodness that Betts' ball was in that one area. But you could tell even the ball that I thought that Trey hit, and you got to really have a ball carrying to get it over Betts' head. And I turned to John at that time and said, this is one of those nights, the ball's really jumping. Because I don't think Adam quite got his, but it snuck in the second or third row. Was that called by a Red Sox fan?
Yeah.
So they shouldn't be able to overturn it, right? What we should do is line everybody up in the opposing team's jerseys there, and that's the rule. So we'll do that. We'll talk about that one on our committee. Kidding.
Obviously, with the exception of the hiccup in the 9th, I mean, is that kind of how you guys draw it up? I mean, there's lots of home runs. Your pitcher goes in the 7th. You turn over to bullpen. Defense plays good. I mean, is that kind of?
Well, it's not necessarily draw it up home runs. It's just you're gonna have to score some runs in our division. I think through all we were 6-4 in our division in May. I think we were like 20-11. Somebody told me for the year. So there's not a recipe every night. It may sound that when you take the body of work. So that's the way it may look over the course of the season, and rightfully so, but it doesn't always work that way, especially as good a pitching as we've seen here in the last 10 or 15 games, and we'll continue to see the rest of this series.
I think that's the second game this year that Chris and Mark Trumbo have both homered in the same game. Is it, I'm not a luxury, but I mean, how different is the lineup when those two guys are both doing that?
Well, it's a luxury. Anytime you have two people homer in a game, regardless of who they are, it's not, I don't take it for granted. It's hard to do. You take a guy who hits 30 home runs, that's a good home run year. And if you have 600 or 700 plate appearances, what percentage of those are home runs? There's a lot else happens between the home runs and the other things. And Mark's a guy that, he may get off course a little bit, but he usually doesn't stay there very long. He's got a pretty good approach. And Chris, little by little, seems to be getting a better feel for it.
On another subject, what can you tell us about Pedro Alvarez and what?
I haven't been made aware of anything different than when Dan and I talked about 4 o'clock. But did something different happen? What did Dan tell you?
Oh, well, he played. Nothing really.
Did he play tonight?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll find out, but I may not tell you on that case. You guys got the Flaherty stuff, right? That PRP is usually 2 to 3 weeks before you start throwing again. I'd suspect he starts throwing this week.